Assimilating is not going to get you as far as you think. Fuck the rules. We exist in many different spaces all at once. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel, where we discuss all things creative and authentic, the process of discovering ourselves through our art. I'm Najwa, the artist you don't know yet. Let's dig into some shit. I got my journal with me, per usual. I was writing my morning journals and I literally stopped and started ranting, and then I'm like, maybe this needs to be a video. I didn't do any research. This is just coming off the top. I want to talk about individuality, what it is, why we don't seem to have it culturally, why we need it socially, my own personal takes, and how it all comes back to art. Individuality. I'll put the definition somewhere on the screen, but for me, it just means being unique, being authentic, showing up as your true self, separating yourself from things that aren't in alignment with you. I don't think we have it, if I'm being real. I think our culture is driven by homogeny so that it's easier for us to be categorized and ranked in the workplace, in school, on social media. Our culture isn't a safe playground for exploration because it rewards those who are really good at following trends, seemingly. I think because of the merit-based system we're all on, it discourages people from becoming who they really want to be. Everybody wants to fit in. For what? This promise of success, this promise of reward is a farce. So often we see people follow the rules to a T and still not redeem as much as they should if we were looking at the technicality of this merit-based system. We don't live in a meritocracy. However, we're defined by one. You can go your whole life valedictorian, go to college, graduate summa cum laude, and be making less than the median average. Our success is not driven by our ability to fit in. In some cases, yes, we see some people who assimilate gain success, but it is only derivative of a success that is capped at a certain limit. The person in which they procure this success from could change what they deem as worth their reward. If a person is on social media and trying to find internet success and they follow all the trends, every so often they get some success, they get a lot of views, they might get a nice paycheck. If the powers at be, the algorithm, of that social media platform, the users or whoever defines the meritocracy of that app, decide that what they were doing, those trends are no longer in, they will significantly and immediately see a drop in their reward. Being in this farce of a meritocracy and trying to subscribe to it will always keep you in the constant state of, how do I position myself to the image of what success looks like in this industry, for this job, in this relationship, etc., etc. This culture, it doesn't set us up to be individual. It sets us up to find an identity: lawyer, doctor, mother, engineer, student, social media influencer, and say, I will do what everyone else who wanted to be that identity and dedicate myself to it. How I wear my hair, how I dress, how I speak. Do you see how that starts to hinder the ability for uniqueness? So that's why I believe we don't have individuality. Not because we're unable to, but because in order to function in this society, a lot of us assimilate. That brings me to why I think we need it socially. I'm sick and tired of what feels like viewing the same person's life over and over and over again. I spend a lot of time on social media. The internet especially is not always a place conducive to individuality until it is, and I'll get there. Everybody is trying to present a virtual representation of the identity they're trying to seek. Let's take the girlies in STEM. I'm a girly in STEM. I majored in electrical engineering and I have a corporate STEM job. I could make corporate STEM girl content. Some of it could be fun and useful, but that's just not what I personally want to do, because I know that my identity is not shrinked to what I do for my day job. It's not even making YouTube videos. It's the whole breadth of who I am as a human being. How are we ever going to be who we really want to be if we are so consumed on presenting an image of some other identity. Assimilating is not going to get you as far as you think it is. It rewards the few and it keeps the most of us chasing because we see 1, 2, 5 examples of someone who followed the rules to a T out of thousands, millions, billions of us, right? Fuck the rules. Fuck the boxes that they try to put us in. We exist in many different spaces all at once. I'm a YouTuber, but even that label alone doesn't define me. The last time I let one aspect of my life define me, I realized I didn't even know who I was. I went through school always being a good student. From elementary to high school, good grades, teachers couldn't complain, did good testing, and I never really put too much effort behind school. It kind of came natural for me to get good grades. So when I got to college and I decided to major as an engineer, I realized very quickly that that natural ability I have for doing well in the classroom, or this preconceived notion I had of myself of just being super smart, wasn't going to be as helpful as I thought it was. It was pretty much useless. In college, I learned that to succeed, you needed time management. You needed collaboration. You needed clear, consistent communication. It didn't matter how much was really in your head. Yes, that could be beneficial. And yes, I still coasted in college, but my grades were completely different. My identity was previously smart girl, school comes easy to her, 10s across the board academically. When I tell you my GPA, I had like a identity crisis. I'm like, okay, I thought I was smart, clearly not. Then I realized I am intelligent. I just don't seem to be engaged. My mind is everywhere else because I'm trying to figure out life, not the principles of electromagnetic waves. However, they're probably more similar than I thought, and I should have paid more attention in school. It didn't really matter how smart I was to be successful in school. I didn't have the top percentile GPA, but when I went into rooms and I had to communicate myself to do an interview, or if I had an internship and they can see my full ability, when had the chance to meet with people, show them my presentation skills, that's when things got me in rooms that led me to opportunities. So what's the point of all of this analytical ranking if the institutions at large don't always honor those merits anyway? I think that's just a level of the game that's just added for confusion.
I don't know. Maybe that's part of the plan. To make me think I'm crazy. It's working.
Moving out of school, let's talk about online. Online spaces will make you think that every girl looks the same, that all of us look the same, that we all wear the same hairstyles, that we wear the same clothes, shop at the same places, and a lot of us do. One, because marketing and we see it so many times that we just buy it. Two, because we think we should do the thing that we see everybody else doing, participate in the thing that's deemed cool, not knowing that it took somebody being spontaneous, somebody being unique, somebody being bold to create this trend. Now everybody wants to do it. Its inception came from someone's creative, individual, unique thought, and they just tried some shit. Me personally, I've never shied away from sticking out. I don't want to be like any of these hoes. And hoes is ungendered. The dudes can get it too. Y'all are boring too. Y'all are not individual either, because there are these structures at play that make us think that in order to be a XYZ identity, I have to look like XYZ, and I have to wear XYZ, and I have to go to XYZ places, instead of just being like, I want to be me. And me likes to wear this, and sometimes that, never that. I like my hair like this, or sometimes braids, never a bust down. I'm not even trying to comfort the bust downs. It's just like, I can't do it. So that's my personal out. We have to like spend more time with ourselves. And this is where it comes back to art. I make music I write songs. So it's very obvious to me that my art is making me learn more parts of myself. So often I'll write a song, a few weeks later, listen to it, and the words hit different because I realized I was talking about myself or to myself or about a situation I have yet to address consciously. Any aspect of art can make you do those things. What about the meditative state that must happen when you're crocheting or tufting a rug, when you're painting, when you're ice skating, whatever that like thing that you do that is your creative outlet, and it doesn't have to be one thing. Trust. It doesn't have to be one thing. The more that we dive into ourselves as artists, the more that we will recognize these things about ourselves that are unique. And what we have to offer the world is so much more important than assimilating and being a version of ourselves that we expect the world to like, want, reward. Because at the end of the day, they probably won't. And how will it make you feel if you know that you're using your life to not be you? And that way of thinking, and that was hilarious. Um, because of that, and I take a lot of signs, I'm gonna my lip because I I take signs. So if the universe was saying don't say that thing you were about to say, no, I'm not gonna say it. I just want to wrap this up by saying you're a full range human being. And it can be hard to express that in the way that our current society is set up. But you have to be the person who's going to make it a better, safer place for you. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for sticking around to the end of another video. While you're here, watch this one. I'm here Wednesdays and Saturdays, so find me. As always, I'm Neajua, the artist you just took some time to meet, and I'll see you next time.